frequently asked questions just so we can say we've covered everything. This will help you understand what's to be expected at launch. I will probably also cut this and make it its own video, but let's go from the top. Now, we obviously know that Palworld is being released on the January 19th. It will be available on Steam, Xbox Game Pass, and obviously Windows, Steam Windows. Not sure how it goes on the handheld Steam console things, so not too sure about that, sorry. Now for the cost, how much is Palworld going to cost? It's going to cost $29.99 during early access. This is obviously going to vary depending on your regional currency. So for me, it's probably about $50, which this price will be accepted by people depending on how good the game is. Obviously, we'll have to go through that process of vetting it. I have paid $30 getting scanned by some indie game, a strategy game called Commanding Nations. I have a much higher hope, and I think Palworld is going to blow our brains out with how good it is. But there's going to be a lot of features that are going to be needed, and it's going to need to be refined. So I'm expecting launch to be half-half. People are going to love it, people are going to hate it, but that's besides the point. So another question people often ask is, will there be new pals and areas added to Palworld? Yes, most definitely. Palworlds will continue to be updated during and after early access. They're going to share the roadmap of their development plan, which will be about a 1-year plan, which will be released shortly after the game release. So we'll expect new biomes, new pals, and new ways to capture pals. And this is probably where we'll also get PvP servers to be added, because that's going to happen post-launch, which goes on to the next question. Is there PvP in Palworld? So PvP will not be supported at the initial release. However, they are currently testing and experimenting with the PvP internally. This is just to try to find the right sort of way PvP will work. If you're building a game like this, it's going to be tricky on how it's going to balance and work and make it actually an enjoyable experience. So much to consider. Next question is, does Palworld support crossplay between Xbox and Steam? Not at launch, so there is no crossplay at launch, but they say they're working towards it, and it should be as soon as possible. So this means at launch, you're going to have to sort of pick between Xbox or PC. Now, for you PS5 people out there, unfortunately, there's no plans to release it onto PS5 yet. Maybe considered down the track, but nothing right now. So don't keep your hopes up there. You're just going to have to jump on PC, or if you have both, Xbox. What about language support for Palworld? It's going to be pretty limited in early release stage. They do plan to support it more and continue to develop language support, but that's going to be down the track. There might be the opportunity for mods to fill in this language gap, but I'm not too sure what languages will be available at launch, but we definitely know English will be one of them. And does Palworld support controllers on PC? Absolutely. Can Palworld be played offline and in single player? Yes, you absolutely can play Palworld both offline by yourself and online with friends. And how will multiplayer work with Palworld? You can play Palworld with up to 3 friends by starting a multiplayer game and inviting them. So there's no split screen or anything like that. For Xbox, you'll have to host a game, they'll have to join it. But beyond this, you can create a dedicated server of up to 32 players. We'll come to the server specifications in a sec. They will provide the tools to create these servers at launch, and there will also be official servers being managed by them. You'll be able to join those straight off the bat, or you can host your own private one. So I imagine you'll be able to go in there, click host, and host your own private server using their servers, possibly, or it's just that same method of creating your own and hosting your own 32-player server. Another big one for me was, can you use your single-player character in multiplayer too? So this needs some work, so it's partially a yes. Your character is bound to your world and is not shared across servers or single player. However, if you are the host of a co-op game, you can switch between single player and multiplayer freely. So they do plan to provide server save transfer method later during development. So this is going to be one of those things that people will probably get annoyed about at the start. This is kind of a really crucial kind of aspect to the game, because you're going to lose your character and all your progression anytime you jump to a different server. So this is going to be a high point of contention. A lot of people are going to find this difficult and annoying. But basically what you do want to try to do is stick to a certain server or create your own and stick to that server. Because if you do leave and go join another server, you're starting from scratch, and it doesn't seem like if you then go back to that other server you're on, that you'll have all that progress still. So there's going to be a lot more needs to be fleshed out about this. This will probably deserve its own video coming soon. Does Palworld support modding and the Steam Workshop? That Steam Workshop support won't be available straight away, but they do plan to add it post-launch. Palworld is in Unreal Engine 5, which is awesome, and they're excited to see what mods will be able to be drummed up. So I'm really keen and interested to see how this modding aspect will work, because that will be able to add so many extra features and really expand Palworld to the whole other universal level. And another question I ask is this game a scam? And absolutely not. Like I said, I got scammed before buying an indie game for $30 that's never even been complete, and it's just a shell of a nonsense. But anyway, let's have a look at some of the server details now. So the information we have on creating your own Palworld server does seem to exist online already, but I'm not 100% certain we can lock into this and say this is exactly what we're going to need. But we've got here the server requirements: Windows 10 or 11, 64-bit with a quad-core process, requires up to 2 full cores, up to 4 gig memory, 12 gigabyte of disk space, but I'm suggesting you probably want something a bit more beefy than that, but maybe not. We'll have to see. So we can see here, we can get fetching the game server files. There's some instructions here. I'll put this link in the description so you can go have a look at this. There is also the potential of renting a Palworld server, but that's coming soon, and I'll let you just go through that instructions, but at least we have some of the information there and some of the minimum requirements. Now, the system requirements for Palworld, or the minimum requirements of Palworld, I'll just throw them up here just so you can get an idea, and I'll leave this up as I say. Thank you very much for watching. Try to include everything I can. Some of it's speculative, some of it's very informative. It's a bit of a mixture of everything, but I spent a lot of time and effort into this, so if you did get anything out of this, please consider liking and subscribing. Hope it was useful to some, at least a point of reference. Maybe went a little bit overboard, but thanks very much. I'll catch you next time. Peace.